The DVB steering board has approved specification updates that introduce capabilities to deliver 8K UHD video services for the first time. It extends existing support for the HEVC codec and is the first step in a series of key additions planned for the DVB video coding specifications. Good morning, broadcasters. 360 seconds news and commentary for broadcast professionals is on the air. I'm Maria Kholodova from TKT. Let's discuss the latest technological news with our respected experts, Philip Grossman and Mary Seidler. Don't forget to give the program a like. So, Philip, what do you think about the DVB steering board?
Are we on the air? Okay, perfect. Sorry about that. It's interesting with the DVB steering board that we're going to 8K and we haven't really finalized and started distributing 4K. So
supports MPEG-H, which it can support a huge number of audio channels, which will then make up a 3D audio experience. Far more speakers and far more connectivity than you probably need in your home setup. But this is cool, and it could be used for a lot of different venues. And I'm thrilled to see that they actually took the time to incorporate part of the audio standard into this. So we can go from there and rock on audio.
Moving on to NEP Group. NEP Group has launched 2 new production centers in Los Angeles and New York. The facilities join existing production centers in the US, Europe, and the Asia Pacific. NEP also will add a Dallas-based data center in 2022. Philip, what do you think this means for clients?
Well, there's been this inevitable march towards what we call REMI, which is the sort of that remote production, the expense of rolling a truck and an entire team into a city every week to do a sporting event or a live entertainment event that a lot of customers and my customers in the past have been looking for ways to reduce those costs. And it's interesting to see NEP, who's one of the leaders in doing these types of events, not sitting on their laurels and seeing this as an opportunity for them and building out these remote centers, which, are typically in the cities where the companies that are hosting these events, or own the rights to distribute it, the ABCs, Disney's, ESPNs of the world. So they're sort of taking that step forward, and instead of being run over by the market, leading the market. So it's interesting to see them doing something like this. It may stem the tide of you would call the OBSs, the trucks of the world, losing market share, but instead, changing what they do. So I think it's a positive step forward. I'm glad to see them doing it. And the fact that they're opening their own data center as well just indicates that they've really taken a serious look at where the market's going and where, because of the connectivity that's around, enabling to do things like this, they're really kind of stepping up to the game. We'll see if others follow suit or if they'll be left behind.
And Mary, what do you think?
I think it's interesting. Philip, I'm curious, do you think this will allow them to start really pursuing other markets, maybe that aren't quite totally broadcast? Or do you think they'll stick completely in broadcast and in sports, which is certainly what they know the best?
It's funny because about 20 years ago with some friends, we looked at the opportunities for using theaters, movie theaters, as digital projection was coming into place, to do some other kind of programming. And I think this may just enable that as the footprint that happens at the stadium gets smaller because production moves away, and may get to the point where the footprint of the stadium becomes a static setup. And that static setup can then be used in other venues, potentially bringing content to be distributed in other ways, other places. So it's interesting, what they're doing and where things may go.
And for the last minute, Philip, I want to get your opinion on the Imagine Communications ADC Flex that lets operators monitor and control channels, schedule, ingest, and manage content from anywhere with internet access. What do you think about the solution, Philip?
Well, so for clarity's sake, I worked in Imagine for a long time, and it's exciting to see them take what is a flagship product and was a heavy metal product, if you will, that sat, within the customer's location, and been able to extend it into a web-based application. And I'm glad to see that they did this as opposed to a lot of companies, organizations taking the opportunity to say, well, we're just going to jettison old technology and old ways.
Happy holidays. We will see you here back in January.